Hi guys, Shauna here, and today we're going to do a video that's going to work on helping out the back and core. So we have all of these muscles that work to keep us upright. We have these specifically 3 pillars kind of stability throughout the core. One of them is the iliopsoas that works as one of our main hip flexors. We have the quadratus lumborum, which is our QL, which are these like inner core stabilizers. And then we also have the muscles, these long ropey muscles that run down the spine. There's several different groups, but we can kind of work on them together. They all run vertical up and down the spine, and they're what keep us up. Think of them like strings pulling us up into place. And quite often these muscles get very weak and overstretched because we always sit and round forward. So think of it like a rubber band. If we keep this rubber band fully extended at all times, if we keep it extended at all times, it's going to be a bit worn out and ineffective. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on some stuff to help us engage the core and help us engage these muscles of the back that we want to strengthen to help with our posture, to help with our back pain. Because a lot of the times we round forward like this and our abdominals are in continual flexion, but it also puts pressure on the discs of the spine. So we want to be mindful of our posture. We've got our cervical spine, our thoracic, and then our lumbar. And our lumbar is quite often where we feel the most pain because there's the least support going on. And it's also the most weight bearing. Our cervical spine really has to just deal with our head. Our thoracic is more rotational. It has our ribs and has a bit more stability going on. And then our lumbar is this free floating area that's just supported by the muscles. And if these muscles aren't that strong, it doesn't do that great of a job. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start seated. Come into your Sukhasana, your easy seat, whatever feels best. And take note of your posture. Notice how you feel. Notice if you're not using any of your muscles. So if we're just hanging out, sitting here, this is one of the reasons why we may have low back pain. And as always, there's no, full 100% injury prevention, but there are certain things that you can do to help mitigate and decrease the risk of becoming injured and to help relieve some pressure. So we're going to go and try to lift, elongate the spine. Good. So engage the abdominals here to lift us. Engage the obliques. Engage the QL. Engage the muscles of the back. Engage the lats. Like I said, there's so many muscles involved with keeping us upright, and so often we just post on our joints. And again, this is really going to hurt our spine, hurt our back. So go ahead and start trying to lift. And if your hips are in front of your shoulders, scoot them back. Come into your spine here. Maybe still pet your cat while you're at it. Just breathing in and out through the nose. Noticing how it feels. Noticing which muscles might be firing if you're not used to really using these muscles to help lift and engage you. Good. Just breathing in and out through the nose here. Again, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders down from the ears. Good. Breathe. We're going to go into some seated cat-cow. So we're going to be taking our spine into flexion and extension mindfully. So we will be rounding the spine, but we're going to be doing it specifically while contracting the abs and rolling the shoulders. So we're going to go ahead and bring our hands to our knees. Inhale, lift the chin, draw the shoulders down, lift the chest. Good, breathe here. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. So we're not super dumping in. See how the difference here between this and then this? I'm still lifting enough to extend and like really give a little bit of space with those vertebrae. I'm not dumping down and rolling in like this. So we're still inhale, lift, draw the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine, contract, protract the shoulders. Breathe in and out through the nose. Inhale, lift the chin, draw the shoulders down, lift the chest. Engage the abdominals here. We're not just dumping into our lumbar spine. We're still engaging while we inhale, lift up. Exhale, chin to your chest, round the spine. Inhale, one more. Exhale, round. Good. Maybe give it a little bit wiggle. Get into that low back there. Breathing in and out through the nose. Good. So with our quadratus lumborum or QL, you might be familiar with the term QL. There's one on each side. And so when we're strengthening one, we're stretching the other. So we're going to go into some little side bends, but we're not just going to collapse into our side here. We're going to be lifting up. So engaging our abdominals, Inhale the arms up, left hand comes down. We're reaching up and over with our right hand. So one of the reasons why we reach our elbow a little bit behind our ear as well is to engage the lats, which are also important in keeping us upright and stable. So breathe in and out through the nose here. Good. And this time we're not going to go down onto our elbow. We're going to try to stay up and lifted and really engaging and feeling these muscles fire. Good. So breathe here, reach, 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 drawing that right hip down. Good. Elbow dialing back behind the ear, reaching up. You can go ahead and play with different variations of where you put your hand. You can turn that pinky down. Good. Inhale back to center. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up and over. Same thing, really stretching out this left side while engaging and compressing and flexing with this right side. Good. Breathe here. Elbow dials back behind the ear. Breathe. And again, still lifting, engaging our abdominals. Notice how you feel. Notice if you're feeling any tension in certain areas. Breathe here. Good. Come back. One more on each side. Go ahead and bring that left hand down this time. So this time we're going to start with the left hand down. We're going to go ahead and ground down to the palm of our hand and really already start to engage this left side. Inhale that right arm up and over. Good. Breathe here. See if you can feel it even more in your core. Good. Keeping that nice, strong, stable back. Good. Exhale down. Move over to the other side. Good. Right hand comes down first. We're lifting, engaging, drawing the right hand down. Inhale, left arm up and over. Good. Breathe here. In and out through the nose. Good. Come back to center. Take a second here. Wiggle it out. Take any emotions. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to edit out a snarf fart. That's fun. It's okay, stinker. It's okay. Anyway, coming back to where we are. This is the joy of filming with animals. Sorry, guys. Such is life. Coming back to where we are. We're going to go ahead and take some quick little body rolls, but we're going to keep our core engaged. So we're not dumping into the body rolls like we may normally do. We're going to keep our core nice and lifted and just roll it out. Good. Make some nice little circles. Get into the low back. Good. Roll it out the other way. Bring it around. Good. Maybe go back and forth just a little bit. Again, keeping our spine nice and strong. Use your obliques to draw yourself back and forth. Good. Using your obliques, using the QL, using your transverse abdominals. Good. Breathe here. Take a quick second. Shake out the shoulders. Roll out the neck real quick. Any extra wiggles or movements you might need before we roll over into our tabletop. So we're going to go ahead and roll over into our tabletop. And we're going to go ahead and find our nice strong posture here. So as always on our tabletop, we have our knees about hips width apart. Or maybe one cat width apart. Shoulders over wrists. And as I said, I'm hypermobile, as most of you may know. I have to be mindful of my joints, but you should be mindful of them too. Try to have a slight bend in the elbows. Right now, let's look at the difference between our spine here. So this is with my butt up and my tailbone pointing up, and this is my tailbone tucked. You want to find a nice neutral spine where I'm not either dumping or rounding. So we're breathing here. We're just going to engage the core here and see how we feel. Notice the difference between just chilling here and between engaging. Good. We're protracting the shoulders just a little bit to keep our little bit of buoyancy in the elbows. We're pushing the earth away from us. We're breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to go through our cat-cows. So we're going to keep our core engaged, drawing that belly button in like you're going to pull it into the spine. We're going to inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, but we drop the belly, but we don't lay into it. So we're still dropping the belly, but we're still holding it in. So not sucking it in breath-wise, but using these abdominal muscles to pull it in, okay? So we're inhaling, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. Inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle. Inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. Two more. Inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. Good, one more. Inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, draw the shoulders down away from the ears, engage the abdominals. Exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. Come back to your tabletop. Again, take any wiggles. You can go side to side if you're tight, if your hips are tight. If you want to just wiggle back and forth, that's fine. You can make little circles here. I love to make these little hip circles. So just take your time. Take whatever you need here. We're going to get into a little bit more core. And notice how your back is feeling already. Notice if you're feeling certain parts engage. Again, there's several different muscles, and a lot of them cover up a large portion of the back, but just in different ways. So just be mindful of where you're feeling things the most, and see if you can kind of bring some awareness into these different spots. So we're going to come into this tabletop position again, and we're going to work a nice little core motion, but it's also an ankle stretch. So we're going to come to the tops of our feet. We're going to use our core to lift our knees. And we're just going to hold here and hover. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Now we're going to try to hold and hover while we make circles for 5. Okay, and engaging our core still, using it to move us around in circles. So we're going to go ahead and lift and roll. We can go counterclockwise, clockwise. We're just going to go back and forth, using our core to lift us even more. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Knees down, knees wide, child's pose. Notice how you feel here. Notice if you're feeling that burning in your core a little bit. Notice if you felt it burning in your quads. This can also work the quads a little bit, especially if they're weak. So come to your child's pose. Take a nice deep breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Good. Settle here. Nice and slow, roll it up. Come back to our tabletop. We're going to wag our tail a little bit. So side to side, shake it out. Engage our core again. Tuck the pelvis. So just practice this little, so this is a kind of like a cat-cow variation, but we're just going to go ahead and tilt and tuck. I just want you to feel this difference here. Engaging the lower abdominals. Good. It's a little bit twerky, maybe. But I want you to feel this difference between this anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. So anterior is where it's tilting forward like this, where it's like, imagine if it's like a bowl, the contents are going to spill out forward. Posterior is where the bowl's spilling out back. So depending on your posture, you may or may not stand in one of these ways and be anterior or posteriorly over tilting your pelvis. So just be mindful, bring awareness into this motion. I'm going to go ahead into some alternate limb extensions here, sometimes called bird dogs, whatever you want to call them. It's up to you. So keeping our core engaged, bringing our weight into our left knee and right hand. First thing we're going to do is just lift the right leg, extend out straight behind us. We're not trying to go up. That's not the motion we want here at all. We want to be straight out. This is a totally different thing. This is going to work more of the glutes. So we're going to breathe here, and we're actually going to do that later. We're going out straight here, and we're feeling it engage through our core. Good. Breathe. We're feeling this iliopsoas. Good. We're feeling the hip flexors. We are still feeling the glutes here, but not as much as if we were lifting. Breathe here. Keep extending. Flex the foot towards the face. Inhale, left arm reaches up like you're going to shake someone's hand in front of you. Draw the shoulder down. Try to keep the hips and the shoulders square. If you're like this, we don't want to be there. We don't want our arm up. We want it straight out in front, shoulder down. Draw the shoulder back into the socket if you need to. Breathe here. We're going to exhale, bring our knee into our elbow, crunch it in. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, exhale, knee into elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Nice and slow and controlled as well. Now we're going to do the opposite side. So same thing, bringing our weight into our right knee first. Feeling our balance here. Finding out where we are settled. We're going to go ahead and inhale the left leg up. Again, keeping our hips square. We don't want to be up like this. See how my hip opens? I want my hips nice and square, foot stepping on the wall behind me if possible. Breathing in and out through the nose here. Engaging the core here. And again, because once we start going up, we're engaging different muscles of the leg. Okay, and it's okay if you're wobbly, it's okay if this isn't perfect, but this is just to bring some mindful awareness into our body. So breathe here. Hips are squared, engaging the abdominals, left foot flexed. Again, my elbow always looks like it's hyperextending, but I promise it's not. Inhale the right arm up, reach forward like we're gonna shake someone's hand. Draw the shoulder down and back into the socket. Good, breathe here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee into elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee into elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee into elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down. Good, take a second here. Maybe shake out the shoulders if that was a bit intense on your shoulders. Again, always take any opportunity you can to shake out the hips. Good, breathe here. We're gonna do a couple little chaturanga push-ups. And this is to really engage the abdominals, engage the front and shoulders and draw back and use the traps and use the lats. So we're really bringing awareness into this whole area of our body. And we're gonna do these on our knees, just so we can bring even more awareness into our back. So we're here, elbows are nice and tight. So with our chaturanga push-ups, we wanna make sure our hands aren't coming inwards. We actually wanna have a little tiny bit of an external rotation. So fingers are pointing straight ahead, drawing the biceps down and out, crossing our knees, bringing them back. Good, breathe here. Shifting our weight in front of our hands, come down, shoulders are rolled back, come back up. Good, engaging our core the whole time, engaging our back. Making sure we're not dumping into our low spine here, we're keeping it nice and tapped. Breathe here, engaging spine and core, come down. Inhale, back up. Good, I'm gonna scoop myself just a tiny bit forward. We're gonna do 2 more. So breathe here, come back up. Good, feel the body. Lower slow. Inhale, back up. Sit back, child's pose. We're gonna take a quick traditional child's pose with our knees together, rounding the belly over the thighs. Head comes down, and arms reach back, internally rotating to bring the palms facing up. Again, breathe in and out through the nose. Take a second here. Notice how you're feeling. Nice and slow. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. We're gonna slowly start to come up. And we're gonna pause here in this transition. So we're here with our knees together. We can widen them a little bit if we'd like to for stability. And we're gonna go into a stretch that works the triceps and the lats. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our hands together, and if we can, just walk our elbows out. Good, so breathe here. Oh. You can lay down, Bubba. So breathe here. Bend our elbows, make our shark fin, and just breathe here. If you want to, you can walk them farther away and lift the hips, get a little bit deeper into the lats and triceps. Our traditional puppy pose, we're working to bring our chest down. In this, we're not trying to get our chest down. We're really trying to focus on stretching these triceps and getting into the lats here, okay? So don't worry so much about getting your chest down like we would in puppy pose. The Snarf had a vet visit today, so he's a little bit wobbly from the medication, so don't mind him. So breathe in and out through the nose. Again, settling here, stretching those triceps out. Taking your time here. You're gonna be lifting the hips, walking further, whatever feels best for you to get deeper and really feel it in the triceps and the lats. Whenever we're ready, work our way back to our tabletop. Take a second here, and we're just gonna slither on through to cobra. So we're gonna go ahead and we can transition, we can slide through, have fun with that real little slither, or just gently lower yourself onto your belly. So our cobra here is great for working the muscles of the low back while also stretching out our hip flexors and our chest and our abdominals. So we're gonna go ahead and plant our palms underneath our shoulders. Toes are nice and flat. We can look our chin up. Breathing here, keeping the elbows tucked nice and tight. Take a second to just feel the muscles of your back engaging. Good, nice and slow, we're gonna begin to lift. Nice and slow, our elbows are not locking, they're staying bent. Our hips are pressing into the front of our mat. Drawing our shoulders down from the ears, engaging these back muscles to pull ourselves in deeper and stretching out the whole front of the abdominals. Good, breathe here. If you'd like to add a little quad stretch, you can bend the knees, try to bring your feet towards your head. I'm not there yet, maybe one day, maybe. Breathe. This is stretching the quads, engaging the hamstrings here, engaging the glutes. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale up a little bit higher if you can. Exhale, come down. Good. Now that might have been a little bit strenuous for you, especially when we do Cobra properly. It's super easy to sit in a bad Cobra for a long time because you're just posting on your joints. You're not actually activating any muscles. So we're going to inhale for one more little Cobra. Plant the palms. Inhale up, draw the shoulders back, lift the chin, lift the chest, draw the shoulders down from the ears. Good. Bending at the elbows, pulling the chest through. Good. Nice and slow, lower down. Take a second here. You can put your cheek on the mat. You want to relax your arms to your sides. And just breathe. Again, come back to your breath. Inhale through your nose. Take a second here, maybe wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe bend the knees, maybe swivel them side to side, whatever feels best for you. Good. Nice and slow. We're going to work a little bit more on strengthening the back muscles and like the muscles of the back of the body and the back of the legs. And we're going to come into our locust. So we're going to go ahead and settle ourselves flat on our belly again, chin up. Hands are internally rotated, palms facing up behind us. And we're just going to start by lifting the chest and lifting the shoulders. So breathe here. Feel these muscles of the back engaging. Lower nice and slow. So this time we're going to inhale, draw the shoulders back, lift the arms. Good. Breathe here. Notice how this feels. Maybe lift them a little bit higher, lift the chest a little bit higher. Nice and slow. We're going to come down. Take a second here, maybe wiggle it out. This time we're going to start lifting the legs, but we're not just going to lift them like this. We're going to be actively engaging, lifting the feet. We're not going to go so high yet, but we're going to start by just lifting our feet. Take a second to prepare. Hands back. Inhale, lift the shoulders, lift the hands, lift the feet. Good. Breathe here. Maybe wiggle your fingers. Engage the glutes. Engage the core. Good. Nice and slow, lower down. Now we're going to lift the thighs up if we can. Okay, so we're really contracting the hamstrings here to lift, contracting the glutes. Take a second. Settle down. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, lift the hands. You can rotate the hands inwards towards the thighs if this is strenuous in your shoulders. Inhale the feet up. Inhale the quads. Here in our locust pose for 3, 2. See if you can inhale a little bit higher. 1. Good. We're going to do one more locust, full body locust to prepare. Again, maybe wiggle it out. Take whatever motions you might need. Inhale, lift the shoulders, lift the chest, lift the hands, reach back. You're going to grab your feet. Inhale, lift the thighs, lift the feet, point the toes. Good. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a second here to just relax. You can bring your hands in front of you like a pillow. Maybe swivel your your hips side to side. So again, this is really great for strengthening those erector muscles of the spine that keep us upright. Again, so often they're overextended. We really want to work these contractions here to strengthen them. And by stretching out our core, we get a lot more mobility. Some of us are just so often sitting in this rounded position all the time that we don't really get the opposite movement. So take 2 more seconds here after our locust. Breathe wherever you are. I'm going to go into a variation of a little bit of a back bend. This is our bow. So if you are like absolutely not, take a few more seconds here to relax, or maybe go into locust again. But if you can, we're going to reach back and see if we can catch our heels. Good. So breathe where we are. I particularly don't like pulling on the feet. I'd rather pull on the heels. It's a bit, the ankles. I really go above the ankle. Because pulling on the foot, we can put too much pressure on the front of our joints. I like to grab around the bottom of the shin. But if this is too hard for you, start here. But I wouldn't recommend pushing too far into them. unless you're comfortable and aware and are used to this. So if we can, we're going to catch our ankles here. Inhale, breathe, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, lift, push through the thighs. Good, breathe here. I really like to flex my feet and get a deep quad stretch. Gets deeper into the calves as well. Good, breathe here. Lower down. We're going to inhale for one more bow. Inhale, lift. Good, breathe, breathe, breathe. Nice and slow. Lower down. Take a second, come back to our little hand pillow. Maybe put your head on the opposite side. Whatever is feeling best for you. So breathe in and out through the nose. Good. Take a second. We're going to nice and slow come into our Sphinx pose. So our Sphinx pose is with both elbows tucked in tight to the chest, lifting our chin, drawing our shoulders down. Breathing in and out through the nose here. Take a second here. I like to really stretch my neck out in Sphinx pose. I like to take my right ear to my right shoulder, draw the left elbow down. Left ear to left shoulder, draw the right elbow down. Take your time. Feel whatever you need to feel here. And just breathe. Make sure you're not just dumping. We're lifting, lengthening, engaging the traps, engaging the lats. Also engaging the abdominals. Good. Breathe wherever you are. And we're going to come into our tabletop, but with our forearms down. So we can walk our elbows in and just come to this nice little tabletop here. This is our little mini table. I'll take a second here and we're going to retract and protract the shoulders, but we're still engaging the abdominals while we do this. Again, so often we focus on other parts of the body and forget there's more than one thing going on at all times. So we're here, tiny little scapular push-ups while engaging the core, tucking the tailbone. We're going to go ahead and protract and then retract. Protract and then retract. We're going to do 5 more. So protract, lift, go ahead and retract. Engaging your core still, making sure that tailbone's tucked. So protract, retract. So protracting, we're pulling the shoulder blades away from each other, and retracting, we're drawing them together like we're squeezing a pencil in between. 3 more. Protract, retract, protract, retract. Last one. Protract, retract. Notice how your core feels. Were you engaging it or did you forget? Good. Breathe here. Take a second. We're going to go ahead and sit back for a nice little child's pose. Breathe in and out through the nose. You can take this tricep and lat variation that we did earlier. Good. Breathe here. This does also get into the front of the pecs a little bit too. And take whatever variation feels best for you. Again, breathe in and out through the nose. And we're going to go ahead and transition back to our tabletop. And quite often, a lot of our low back pain and instability does come from weak lower body muscles. You know, our hip, our low back, and our legs are all super connected. So we are going to do a little bit of a glute strengthening thing right now. We're going to work the gluteus medius, which is more on the side, and then our glute max, which is what we think of as our butt. So we're just going to do a quick little exercise to kind of fire those up a little bit before we wind down. So these are sometimes called fire hydrants because it's like your dog peeing on a fire hydrant. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to transition through separate motions, but I'm going to break down each one. So we're going to go ahead and engage our core. We're going to start by lifting our leg out to the side. So this isn't going to be a true fire hydrant because we're not just coming up and down. So we're coming up. So we're externally rotating at the hip, extending backwards, and then we're going to kick up, bend the knee, hug it in. Okay? So we're externally rotate out to the side, extend back, kick up, bend the knee, hug it in. Good. Breathe. Go ahead, Narnie, lay down. So we're going to go ahead and open, extend, bend and kick up, engage in the glutes here, hug it in. Open to the side, extend, kick up, bend the knee, hug it in. One more. Open to the side, extend, kick up, bend the knee, come in. So opposite side now. Go ahead and bring your weight. Hi, Baba. Go ahead and bring your weight into your hands. Go lay down. Go ahead. We're going to go ahead and bring our weight into our hands. Open up the right hip to the side. extend back, kick up, bending the knee, hug it in. And we're still using our core, engaging our core this whole time. Open up to the side, extend out, kick up, bend the knee, bring it in. Out to the side, extend, kick up, in, out, extend, up, in, 2 more, out, extend, up, in. Good, 1 more, out, extend, up, and in. Good, take a second, wide-legged child's pose. That was probably burning your glutes a little bit, but that's good. Our glutes help to really help us stabilize. A lot of the times our glutes are tight and weak, so they're not very strong, but they're super compressed. So this can help release some of this tension, because when we think about it, the gluteus maximus is the antagonist to our psoas. And our glutes, if they're too tight, our psoas may be overextending and we might be dumping into our back. So if our glutes are clenching in, our psoas may be dumping forward. So you really want to find this stability in this whole pelvic tilt, in the psoas, in the glute max. So breathe wherever you are. Take a second here. I really like to come into this forearm child's pose once in a while and just rock side to side. Move back and forth. Wiggle it out. Breathing in and out through the nose. Good, and be rock side to side. I'm just going to go through just a quick little child's pose to cobra to work the back a little bit more. But again, we're not just throwing ourselves through, we're actively engaging. So we're going to bring our hands out a little bit farther into an extended child's pose. Draw forward, come down, open up. Good. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Push back. Use the core to lift here. Push back, child's pose. Again, we're engaging the core the entire time. Coming through. Hips down, shoulders back. Engage those back muscles. I really like to push my feet together too to get the glute medius involved here. So breathe. Come around. Come back. 1 more time. Come through. Good. Last time, sit back, child's pose. Take a second here, really sink in. Breathe in and out through the nose. If you want, you can even take a little bit of a shoulder stretch here. Walk one arm across and then the other. And I like to do this on both sides. So whatever side's on bottom, you switch it over to the other side. And then just walk it across. Just be mindful if you have tight shoulders, not putting too much pressure. Good. Breathe wherever you are. Nice and slow, we'll come out. Take a second here. And again, I like to really sit in this super wide child's pose and shift my hips back and forth. We're gonna go ahead and zip our knees together. If you'd like, you can take one more little core lift here and lift up. Good. Breathe here. We're gonna cross our knees, sit through, come back to our Sukhasana. So go ahead and find your easy seat again. Notice how your core feels. Notice if that was strenuous for you, or maybe you thought that was super easy. If you thought it was super easy, feel free to add in extra push-ups, extra crunches, stuff like that. Quite often, we don't need too many crunches exercise-wise. Yes, they are great, but we're always so often in this flexed position with our abdominals that sometimes we really need to work on lifting and lengthening the spine, strengthening these back muscles. Help keep us lifted. And again, engaging different parts of the core and engaging the core in movements where typically you may not. So just having the mindfulness to have this full body experience going on and just having the body awareness and just feeling the different parts of your body, noticing if you're dumping into one hip, dumping into one side, noticing the difference between drawing your chest back, noticing your pelvic position. That's been a really big one for me lately, is noticing if I'm tilting. Like I said, I'm hypermobile, so my knees typically go backwards and my pelvis tilts back as well. So it's interesting to be mindful of your posture. Again, posture is one of the biggest reasons why some of us have back issues, because we typically all have this rounded forward posture. But we use our core to help lift us. A stable core can help stabilize everything else. We're bringing it all back to this trunk area. So we really want to work on strengthening these muscles without getting them too compressed and uncomfortable. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys liked the numerous animal interruptions. And yeah, hope this is helpful for you. Have a good day.